Well, dozens of migrants are in New York City after being bused there by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Mayor Eric Adams blasting Abbott's move, saying he is using innocent people as political pawns to manufacture crisis, adding that New Yorkers are stepping up to help but need money and more federal assistance. NewsNation's Allie Bradley is live. So, Allie, Governor Abbott, though, says he is doing this in protest of the Biden administration's border policies.
Yeah, Nichole, you're exactly right. Governor Abbott has been very vocal about his disdain for the Biden administration's handling of the border crisis, even taking to Twitter earlier today saying that, countering what Mayor Adams said, calling it horrific and saying the Biden administration's policies are what is horrific. So he absolutely is doing this in response to a lack of response from the Biden administration. But when it comes to how many buses he sent, I talked with his office earlier this morning, and they said they've sent at least 160 buses to Washington, D.C. alone. Now, they have also sent 2 buses to New York. Remember, that's something that he started doing on Friday. So now he sent 2 buses full of migrants to New York. So I did ask them, do you have any other plans to bring buses to any other states, any other cities? And they said no, New York and D.C. are where they're heading right now. Now, when it comes to Arizona, Governor Doug Ducey has kind of followed in Governor Abbott's footsteps a little bit here. He, too, is sending buses to Washington, D.C. Only Arizona has only sent 37 buses to Washington, D.C. Now, when I asked his office what they were doing, if they were going to be sending migrants to D.C. or to New York, rather, this is the response that I got, saying, quote, the reason this problem exists is because of Washington, and that's where they're headed. That comes from the office of the governor in Arizona. Now, what's really interesting here, Nichole, is that busing migrants into the interior of the United States is not new. I talked with the Del Rio NGO several times, which is a non-government organization that works with these migrants. They started their facility back in 2019 out of need. They have been busing people 2 Greyhounds a day since 2019 into the interior of the U.S. That includes Washington, D.C. and New York. Now, the reason this is bringing up all this attention, really, is because Republican governors are sending buses full of migrants to Democratic-run states. So it's obviously drawing media attention and other attention as well. Now, when I asked both governors if they're going to continue to bus migrants into the interior, they said they're going to continue, especially while the administration is not reacting. We know that they denied those federal requests from Mayor Bowser in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, that federal help is going to be tough to come by.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.